Hi everybody, good evening, good morning, good afternoon to everyone. Welcome to Power of Knowing Forum's Knowledge Nexus, tech that moves you, ideas that scale you. And our topic of discussion today is AI ROI or Boardroom Mirage. Are we chasing hype or value? And today, your go-to podcast on tech, cybersecurity, strategy, and growth. I am Prem Kumar, yes, your host today, and we'll explore how ROI on AI is being calculated and how it is to look at whether it is a hype or a value that we are driving. A special welcome to all tuned off to Power of Knowing Forum weekly podcast series, episode 288, live on LinkedIn today. We have the honor of Sandeep Bansal, Chief Information Officer, award winning digital transformation and AI leader, manufacturing and education, cybersecurity, and IT infrastructure joining us. Let's welcome the esteemed speaker to our podcast and dive into the topic. Sandeep sir, welcome to our podcast. Thanks for being here again.
Thank you, Mr. Prem, for giving me this opportunity. I think it's a long time we have interacted.
Welcome to our show, sir. A small intro about yourself. It's been quite a while that you have been into our podcast. So I wanted to give the audience what is the journey that you've gone through and a brief intro about yourself, sir.
Yeah, hi, I'm Sandeep Bansal. I spent 28 years in technology industry, building from scratches, implementing IT infrastructure, designing architecture, solutions for various industry. I have worked on IT, ITS, oil and gases, manufacturing, and education sector. I have been known for implementing solution with a unique idea, ensuring the solution is meeting the vision of organization and providing value not in terms of operational efficiency, also in terms of revenue growth. I am known for implementing first Salesforce Higher Education Cloud in India, and currently I am working on solutions. Those are, uh, you know, how to enhance revenue for a manufacturing industry, that is steel is a different industry altogether because every different industry has their own processes. So this is what I am. And on AI, I have got an opportunity to implement first AI application for my education institution, Manipal Academy of Higher Education, during my last stint when I was working with Mahe as a director IT.
So thank you for that, sir. Now let's discuss on to the pointer that we want to look at whether it is a hype or a value that we want to drive when it's coming to AI. If 70% of AI pilots never scale, are boards investing in smoke or substance, sir? Your take on it, sir.
Yeah, so Mr. Prem, actually, AI is the most talked about topic in today's, if I say. As far as in my understanding, it is somewhere the boards are interested to keep themselves with the latest technology and advancement which is coming into the picture, be it AI or be it quantum computing. They want to be ahead of the competitor. They want to understand how technology can help them to grow in their current business landscape. So, technology first, digital first themes are practices those organization is having. So those organization board are looking towards the CIO to come and ensure the latest technologies are being implemented. But there is a catch. What we want to achieve is most important. Are we looking for solving a problem with the AI, or we are just trying to adopt AI because of the technology advancement? So this is where I feel we have to fill the gap, because there's a pressure. There's a pressure on the technology leaders to implement the latest technology, or they bring the new applications, right? So if you see, there are a lot of companies today. What they are doing is they are just renaming their automation applications and putting AI into it. So having said that, it is not like AI is something which has come today. If you see, AI was there in the past. You were using predictive AI for analytics. You were using, a lot of application for the automation. So what has changed? The generative AI which has come into picture, which has changed the entire game. Now, we as a technology leader, we have to define our roadmap, and we have to ensure what problem statement we are trying to solve for the organization, and what are the KPIs we want to present. That's what we can see. Otherwise, in today's scenario, if I say, it is more a hype rather than ROI.
I think one way of saying is it's one way of there is lot of hype on the number of tools and the way that is getting told that it can automate and stuff. But what we are seeing is we don't see there is a cost that is coming in when we start buying AI tools, and that configuration till the time it stabilizes, we need to run both environments, and we look at bringing that security also into play, right? So that is one way of looking whether it is a hype or a smoke, right? I think that's what is my way of looking at it. What happens when AI promises outpace reality in the quarterly board?
So, when you look towards the credibility and trust by putting these questions, right? So, I'm just giving one example. It is from a retail segment. When I say retail segment, you go to any shop, you want to buy X thing, and you don't know the seller want to sell a Y thing.
Hmm.
So, what happens when you want to introduce AI? There are two things I want to understand. Are you planning or designing your architecture where you want to fit the AI, where you want to ensure your accelerator is going to sit in the complete enterprise architecture? What kind of the data is going to come into to train your model, and who is going to use it? So these are multiple points, right? Now, if I go from the credibility and trust point of view, when we ask to implement AI tool, so there are two factors. One, either boardroom or either business user. Seeing the market scenarios, they want to bring some new tool, maybe fancy tool, I can say that. Having said that, the partner, when he is selling those tools, we have to understand the underlying cost into it. So what happens? I'm giving you very very simple example today. Say for example, there has been a hype that L1 roles will go out after the AI implementation will happen. I don't agree to it. It is going
In
to
fact,
automate certain process.
no, I think in fact it has got increased now.
Yeah. So it is going to reduce the mundane task for the
Yeah.
L1, right? But will it going to take the entire job? No.
No. Yeah.
Right. So AI should be treated as an assistant, and it is a great tool. And if you see from the both side of the coin, you will see the good and bad out of it. So in my saying that, broken AI promises break trust faster than broken technology.
True, sir. Because what we are saying is, I will quote one example which I have spoken in a couple of other podcasts also. Uh, we've, ad- I think we are one generation which has adopted change. too much, right? Now we we were in those trunk call days to ISDs and STD and ISD. Then we had those banking systems to ATM systems. Now
Hmm.
internet banking and we are into Google Pay and other UPI payment structures.
Yeah.
And then we had the dialed phone to a smartphone, which is
Right.
replacing the laptops itself, right? So we've
Right.
seen change. Now, what I think, what you are speaking is not going to change the overall perspective, because I always say the banking system is one example which we can take. Is no matter whatever automated things come, the banks are making more money today, right? Then, right? Am I right in saying that, sir?
No, absolutely right. I will give you one very good example. The dot com bust or even e commerce, right? I remember when we used to teach or train in our computer center, we always used to tell there's going to be the time when you're going to go on the website and buy something, it will come at your home. And people used to say, what are you talking? Why I need to go on the website and buy something? Today we are buying anything, clothes, shoes, everything. So e-commerce is something which we never thought of. So
Yeah.
I agree with your point, sir.
Sir, when does the AI fear live more in boardrooms than the factory floors, sir? Or why? I will say when rather than when, I will say why.
Yeah. So actually, I will say in two words, it's a gaps and misconception.
Hmm.
So the understanding what we want to achieve from the AI and what it can do, the difference is there itself. So what we are thinking that AI is going to come and it will process and do everything automatically. No, it is not going to happen. So, as I said, when we say predictive AI is there to analyze the data and provide us a prediction based on the past history of our analytics and say what changes is going to happen if we are going to implement this. When we
Hmm.
are going for the generative AI, which is basically trying to take out some of the analysis or the content, right? Nurturing it and giving us some results. So, what I feel is the heavy load which we were doing by using computing or by using our, memory power, that work has been shifted to a tool which is called AI. If I say machine learning and AI, which what is they are doing is, for example, today, if you want to put all the Vedas into the system and you want to ask any query, you will get the answer immediately. Otherwise, in the past, you have to open the Veda, you have to check, and you have to go to that page. So it is another time saver, but it is not a magic win. So we have to understand AI fear is a boredom phenomenon. Operators just want better tools.
Hmm. You're right, sir. But looking at what we were having as a search engine to a point in question is what I think
Yes.
you are saying. Because when we started looking at Google as a search engine, we used to get hundreds of links, but we didn't know what to find or how to do.
Right.
Today, it is giving you references saying that this is what you can do, these are the steps that you can do, and this is the procedure. So that is the way that we
Absolutely.
are looking at AI coming in help for us rather than going in for search. And these are the three options. If you ask it to give it in option, it is giving you in two options, right? And that's the
Absolutely.
way I think AI is creating simplicity for us to save time. One is that. The second thing, what I see is AI is helping us to do the research also for us. It is searching out for multiple places and it is giving you inputs. End of the day, the call is between us. Whether I club three, four research articles to one article or I rephrase that completely, it's a call between us to do what we are supposed to do, right? And that's what I think AI is doing. Could blind faith in AI create next corporate downfall, sir?
So, very important question actually. See what is happening today. If I say implementing AI, I will take an example. In an organization, when you are implementing any tool, how it happens, you ask the CIO, CIO will ask business user, understand their requirement, and he may come with a tool which may be, right fit for the solution, and a POC demo being conducted. This is how we have been doing. But AI is different. In case of AI, there is a lot of data is going to be accumulated. The model has to be trained, understanding your organization, understanding your business use case, past history, and all those information. So what is important here is to have a governance structure in place. If any organization is planning to implement AI, so it is not a simple tool you just plug and play and start it. You need to have a governance in place, you need to have a DPO in place, you should know who's the data owner, and the data owner should know what kind of data is going into the data lake or AI engine. So so that that cannot be misused, right? If we are doing working on AI just blindly, yes, it may be going to be a very very big downfall. So AI is doesn't just like predicting risk, it creates new ones. So it can overrule its own decision. So this is something like that. So you have to train him nicely, you have to train him rightly, so that it should not play with you, rather than it should assist you rightly.
No, actually, it is an assistant that we are failing to acknowledge, is what I think is a point that we should drive today. Because today we are looking for solutions which are quicker. We are looking at go to market quicker. We are looking at solutions which can save a lot of time and reduce the mundane jobs. That's where the whole structure is looking at, right? Sir,
But I have one query here, Mr. Prem.
tell me, sir.
If you are going to train your assistant a lot, he's going to replace you. No?
Hmm.
So similar thing is here. So we have to ensure what we have to train him.
That's true, and you made a very valid point where you said it will replace you, but the AI here is not going to replace you. It is getting trained better, and it gives you better answers, right? That's what we are trying to look at as a AI trained. Why do some AI projects stall after a flashy proof of concept, sir? Because currently what we see is most of the proof of concepts have come to small products. We have some tool for this, for some tool for that, and some tool for this. Is that the way that we should look AI, sir?
So I agree with you. What happens, at the time of planning, I what how I do it. So it is all about people, process, and practices, right?
Hmm. Hmm.
When we are looking for any tool, we have to understand what kind of people those are going to use this tool, what kind of practices we want to improvise, what are the processes which you want to automate. So if we are having this clarity in our mind, then the entire design which we are doing for this application, as I told you in the my previous question, have we thought of in the entire enterprise architecture where you are going to put this AI? Now, if I replace this enterprise architecture with the human, body or anatomy, can you put your liver at the place of heart? So the same thing, you cannot put AI anywhere. You have to ensure this has to be placed in the center of the entire application. The communication has to flow free, and what kind of information has to go to the AI, and what kind of questions and answer we can express from this. So when we are planning for such kind of change management or disruption in our organization by bringing a new tool, I believe there should be holistic approach. If we are not doing it, then the entire demonstration, or as you rightly said, the shiny POC, that falls out. I will give you a very simple example. In one of the organization, what we did is we created the complete vision of the project by understanding from all the stakeholders that vision, what value it is going to bring for us, right? What kind of tool we are going to use for to bring this vision, and what kind of obstacle is going to come. And in the last, we created what success matrix we have planned. So if we have planned our entire journey in a right way, I am sure whatever tools we are bringing doing at the POC level will not fall short. Second thing is, there should be very clear transparency from the partners is also required, because What happens today? Say, for example, we are talking about AI. Do anybody, go on and check what is the cost of one prompt? The cost of one prompt can be so high that the ROI of that prompt you will not be able to make it up, right? So we have to ensure to whom we are providing this tool. Okay, if those users are using this tool in a right manner, I am sure if we have done those process practices and policies in place, I am sure it is not going to fall short. But if we are just doing a plug and play like any other tool, it will going to fall short of the commitment of the vision which is boardroom has been looking for.
Very true, sir, because what we are seeing is if there is something which falls short, then there is a bigger issue that we are going to have to tackle. And that becomes another challenge adding to AI that we are trying to look at. Is the lack of AI literacy on boards the bottleneck hidden, sir? Do you think that way?
Yes, and that is again our responsibility, nobody else. Yeah,
No.
you know, because as I told you, I have got a chance of implementing first AI accelerator in higher education, but parallelly we conducted boardroom sessions, training our board to understand what is AI. People were thinking like AI is just like kind of cheating in the examination, but actually AI was next level. When we explained that AI is an assistant for them, right? In the absence of assistant, you can train your assistant, you can understand, you can ask these kind of queries, but you also need to ensure what information you should share with the AI, what you should not do it. Second use case we did with our legal team by comparing their multiple contracts which is coming on their table, because that take a lot of time, and we trained our AI model in such a way so that they can use it. So I would like to put that way. I'm giving a tool to somebody, and if he don't know how to use it, he will not be able to take outcome out of it. Now, if I am asking, or for example, I'm in board and I don't know what AI can do, what kind of outcome it can bring it out, I may not be asking right question to my CIO, right? And I may not be able to look for what kind of success matrix I'm looking into it. So, in my view, it is very, very important that board should be trained, board should be knowing maybe little what AI can do, what is the challenges, what outcome we can drive from using AI tool in our ecosystem.
That's very true because we need to understand what are the tools that are to be, and that brings into a case where we should look at what kind of trainings are required, what kind of knowledge has to be given to the people who are going to use this tool, and how is going to impact the organization, right? So, if you look at a AI tool to be given to everybody in the organization, then there is chaos that we are going to build, right? And
Absolutely.
that's where we should look at. Who's the person who's going to use the tool, what is the purpose, is this tool going to change something as a process or a policy? That has to be looked at when you look at technology. Now, how does the absence of clean data derail AI initiatives? Because there's one more thing that we need to have clean data for us to feed AI to give kind of solutions that we want to look at.
So there are multiple ways when we are talking or training to our AI tool. Now, just giving you a simple example, if I am going to train my AI tool with the wrong data, I will get the wrong answer. It is just simple like garbage in, garbage out,
Garbage out.
right? We
Old
have been
stuff from
teaching our
software development cycle, right? Yeah,
yeah,
right.
so we have been learning this all the way, right? So keeping AI clean, ethical, responsible, it is very important that we train him with the right thing. Okay,
Hmm.
I'll give you another example. I think it will resonate with all of us. How we teach our kids, we are going to teach him right thing, we are going to teach him with the right input, right data, right information, so that he follow it, right?
Hmm.
Similarly, if my data is not correct, if my data input is not correct, see, AI is okay. I will put one more thing. Earlier, you remember we used to do so many activity, and we used to say, okay, we are using computer digitalization, digitalization. Then words come into the picture called smart. So
Hmm.
everybody started using smartphones, smart TV, smart everything smart. Now the new technology has come, which is called artificial intelligence, because smartness was there, but intelligence was not there.
Hmm.
If you see, the smartness and intelligence are two different things. Now, a human can be intelligent, but if you're asking a machine, it's a artificial intelligence because we are training him with some data. It doesn't have its own brain. It is working on some inputs shared by us. So
Hmm.
if our inputs are not correct, so we cannot expect a right answer from it. So clean data is very, very important when we are building our own NLM, because if the data is not clean, the expectation from right answer is very far away.
It's a very valid point that you said is what is input, the output also will come in the same way. That is garbage in, garbage out, is what you rightly said. Because now, bringing up a model to solve a problem needs clear data and clear outputs to be defined. So that is where I think what you are bringing up, this point of clean data, right? Now, we've been measuring everything, and any pointer that we want to implement or a policy to be implemented, we want some measuring parameters for it, right? Now, why is ROI measurement in AI harder than tools like ERP or CRM, right? You know what is an ERP and CRM tool which is going to give you. But how do we look at ROI measurement when it comes to AI?
So now my question towards this is, when we are measuring ROI for any application, say for CRM and ERP, we are aware what kind of inputs are going into that application, what kind of output we are looking for. Say for CRM, we are looking towards customer engagement, or the better response from the customer, the feedback is coming from the customer, and how our sales team or executives are reacting on it, right? But when we are going towards the AI is basically, nevertheless, is going to assist to our users, to our team, be it sales team, be it our operation team. Now, how AI has been able to help in solving their problems, that is one of the criteria which has to be looked. But having said that, it depends upon what kind of solutions or problem we are solving. On that basis, we can only drive the ROI. I will give you one example. Say for example, my one of the user is doing that mundane task on a daily basis, right? And in that mundane task, he's spending his 2 hours. By implementing AI, I have reduced his tickets. I have reduced, his operational work. Efficiency has improved. I can calculate the ROI. So, as I said, where and what use case we have implemented in AI, that matters, right? So, I will give you one more example. For a L1 team, right, when he is getting so many of tickets, right, the automation with the intelligence which you are going to implement over here to reduce those tickets, those can be automated and reduce the workload. I'm sure that can calculate the ROI, what kind of impact has made to the business.
The kind of business changes that it brings is what you are saying can be measured as ROI. Am I right in saying that?
Yes, yes, sir.
Okay.
But one
Oh.
statement I'll say you: if you can't measure the AI, then don't sell the AI.
That's a very valid point, because we've been hearing, and everybody is talking about AI sales. And I recently read somewhere AI sales itself as some, I think Accenture or somewhere, they have booked about $2.5 billion AI sale. That is what they have booked, is what I heard. Not sure how much it's true there, but I heard something like that. Now, coming to AI, whether boards still treat AI as a silver bullet strategy, or is there something that you want to add?
So, see, everything has, as I said, the positive and negative side of it. There are challenges. There are challenges of connecting legacy system. There are challenges of bringing right application on place, clean data, and if I say in our Indian economy, right, uh, we are using application for years, right? In many cases, you may see the enterprise they are not even renewing support because if it is running smoothly, it runs for years, right? So what happens? I'm giving a very simple example of Tele. If you talk about Tele, many organizations they are still working on Tele. However, they may require an ERP application. They're so comfortable in that application, they don't want to move on. So when I say for a silver bullet, so AI can bring a change, but if you're not aware, you can't bring a change. Second thing is, yes, it is a costly affair. It is not a simple tool you just buy and plug it. It has a transactional cost. It has but it can also improvise your operational efficiency. If we are not knowing what and where we are going to use this tool, if we are not planning right, so definitely it is going to be a silver bullet. It's not a compass. It is going to hit you very hard. If you have planned correctly, if you have put the governance model in place, you have done ethical and responsible AI, you have understood what data is going, to whom you are involving, to whom you are giving for use. I don't think we cannot calculate the ROI, we cannot achieve it. But here, the biggest challenge is time. We have to give the time to the CIO to plan effectively rather than asking him, I need AI to be implemented in 2 months. It may not be possible.
I think what you're saying is very important here, is because AI itself, implementation and testing POC to implementation takes a wide late time, where we need to test all the scenarios. We need to look at parameters, security sides when it comes to our roles as a CIO and CISOs. We need to look at that. So I think it is more the nuance, the tech road maps that we should look at, and then say this is whether it is a silver bullet or not, right? So I think that's where we are trying to, how do we prevent AI ethic lapses, because from becoming a brand crisis, because now we are building everything fast, right? And if something breaks, it turns out to be one way of looking at is, one, it is a brand image that will get hit, and second is the reputational losses that will come on when we find something as a lapse, right? How do we look at this pointer, Sandeep?
So, Prem, as I said, there are a couple of things which I feel as a technology leader we should look towards. When I say governance, so governance is not only about having a team of 4 or 5 people. It is about giving a responsibility, sharing the responsibility when we are implementing anything. So when we're talking about ethical implementation of AI, so at the time of design stage, if those principles, those values has been incorporated into a system, I don't think there can be any challenge. But if we are just using this application to implement and bring as sometimes we say short-term goals to achieve, or giving some low-hanging fruits and try to get some quick gains, so at that time it is going to fall short on our face, and that is going to a loss of brand image strategy, all those things as you rightly said. Second very important part which I would like to add it here is AI for all. That is a mission which we are thinking of. I am part of, as you said, many organizations. So what AI governance, we have handshake with AI for all global, which is talking about educating each and everybody about what is AI and how we should use it. You see, Western countries, many countries have already started training or teaching students at the early age, right? And in our countries we have to make it available to each and everyone, so that they should know the brighter side of the AI, right? So if we are going to train our team, if we are going to train our employees, if we are going to train everyone, I have seen many organizations, they have blocked use of chat gpt and AI tools in their organization, because they feel their code can go out, they feel their information can go out, because people will start using those tools, and they can share the critical information to the AI tool, and once it goes public you cannot take it back. And they're right. But rather than blocking, right, if we train our team what is right, what is wrong, or we can put some other process and practices in our ecosystem, I think that is much better. If you ask your son, right, go for a ride but use helmet, is that right? Or you take the key of the bike, he will take others bike and he will go.
I was remembering one point when you said this bike story. There was this is off what we are discussing. Uh, Now these police guys catch you not for not wearing helmet, right? There was one pointer one guy said is, why don't these police guys go near a helmet shop, okay, stand there, catch this guy, rather than putting fine, you give him a helmet. That was something which I was listening and makes sense, but I have a helmet. Why will I buy? I pay fine. This is another one that they'll,
So,
as you
so
said, I give out
actually,
the key.
no, your point is valid, but in general context, I'm telling, those people will take that helmet and they will sell to that same shop and take the cash.
Possible, possible, right? Sir, what are some of the hidden pointers or cyber risks for deploying AI at an enterprise scale? Because I think what we are seeing today is more at a level where we are talking about prevention, detection stuff at enterprises. But is there a pointer that we want to develop into the enterprise scale where it can be production systems?
So, Mr. Prem, shall I ask you one question? In our childhood, we used to, repeat or recite tables, right?
Hmm.
Two twos are four, two fours are eight, and we might have been learned up to 19, 20, 22.
Yeah.
Right? If I ask you what is the multiplication answer of 22 multiplied by 64 multiplied by triple eight, so you need a calculator, or you might need a computer, Excel. So what AI is doing for us, it is helping us to solve those critical issues and giving us quick answers,
Hmm.
right? So you cannot, a human cannot fight with the machine, which I feel, because machines can calculate faster, they can think faster, they can react faster. So when we are talking about cyber risk, a human has to fight with the AI. A hacker who is using AI, the tool which is there, and developing those kind of what I say, breaches, which use complex code or algorithm which is developed using AI. So I am feeling the future is about AI fighting with AI. Human fighting with AI will be tough. So
Hmm.
chances of cyber risk, cyber attacks are very, very high. But as I said, we have to be more cautious, because it is not only about codes. Your image morphing has become so easy.
Hmm.
I see, some of the LinkedIn post. People are using uh, some leaders or maybe some players sitting next to them and talking to them. Or those are created by, I think, using Gemini 2.5. So Nano Banana is a kind of what they've used over there, GPT they have used. So my point is this. So It is not only about the code impersonation. It is again voiceover. It is going to be lot many things. The time has come where we have to understand, the signatures. The real signature is going to work in this case. How we can safeguard ourselves, how we can safeguard our organization and our personal information. So there are a lot of things in the security and risk. I feel AI can be a bitter truth. You may not teach him, but the hackers are there. Those are already training those AI models. Those can work against us.
I was told today we are talking to few of the bots, right? In the recent conference that we were talking about, we're talking to a bot today. And what if somebody puts a code where it says you're talking to a bot and I'm also a bot? Can we talk in our language, right? So the structure, the whole pointer of that discussion can change to any kind of catastrophe that can happen. So, and those things may come up very soon is what they were talking about, but still as a discussion. Why do few firms still tie AI adoption to a strategic roadmap? Because AI is everywhere and you cannot live without it today currently, right? Do we see that requirement still being a strategic roadmap linked?
Yeah, absolutely. I 100% agree with this. Because, see, if we have to bind AI with our business, right? So it can definitely help our customer in realizing or helping them to solve their problems, right? You remember we used to create a knowledge hub in our support system. The knowledge hub used to provide information for any error which has come. Today, if I integrate AI over there, I don't need to provide any information. AI will only going to help him, right? The one way of doing it. Second thing is I have used it, and I am sharing on this forum one of the application which is being developed by one of the partner, and I'm not getting the solution for that problem which I was facing. I used some of the models and developed solution for the problem statement which I am facing, and I asked the vendor, this is the solution I am available and why you are not able to do it. And he was little shocked. He was not able to understand what to do. My point was that if there is a strategic move from the organization, strategic move, we want to use AI in our customer success. We want to use AI in resolving our employee problems. We want to use AI in analytics to understand business revenue, which is we are getting right now. I think it can turn out to, or it can bring a lot of revenue on the table. I, if you see, Prem, I mentioned in many at many stages on my profile that I help organization to achieve 3x revenue. 3x
Mm.
revenue is not, it cannot happen without a strategy, right?
Yeah.
So you have to plan for your digital first approach. You have to ensure your customer satisfaction, and whatever tool you bring in, if your customer is not satisfied, your business will not grow. So my approach is always customer first. So if the strategy of the boardroom is towards implementation of AI, I can assure you, if they focus on their customer retention, customer success, resolving their issue, resolving their mundane tasks, I can guarantee you it can be a very good tool for them.
Hmm. True, sir. I think they have to look at strategy while we look at any implementation. That's what you are talking about, right? Now, what is the first AI question every board member should be asking in the current scenario? And we are talking AI in and out of every business today.
I remember the first question the board asks is every board is different. So in education, they ask whether it is going to help the student to cheat during the examination or during the research. So their thought process is that AI is going to change the way they have been doing the research. However, I feel if they implement AI, their research will become more advanced, it will enhance, and they will be able to achieve better results. Now, the second thing which comes into the mind of the board in the enterprise architecture, their thought process is the AI is going to take my critical information from my organization, and my data can get leaked. So these problems or these questions are absolutely correct. It can happen, and it happens when you don't have right strategy in place, when you don't have right plan in place, you don't have architecture in place. So this is important when you're designing or planning your next move for implementation of such technology. You should be clear what you are having, what you want to achieve, and how you want to achieve.
Now coming to our question, there is, now we asked the question. Now we are ready to go ahead and do a deployment. Now comes the investment part, right? So that's
Yeah.
where the whole structure comes in. And the large organizations have the budgets, but how can mid-sized firms adopt AI without $1 billion budgets? Because we're talking about GPUs, we're talking about storage, talking about LLMs and stuff like that, right? And models are different. The cost of each model has its own this one, and also the data that you need to be clean. So these are the pointers. How does this mid-sized organizations or firms adopt AI?
I still remember when Narayan Murthy said, "I am fed up with the every organization is starting putting AI in their solution without knowing what AI is." So, what you are trying to say is absolutely right. So, as I said, today you pick any of the solution, you'll find AI has been added in their solution as prefix or suffix. But my question is what problem they are solving and what artificial intelligence they are bringing in. I also remember when Chat GPT and AI boom started. Uh, you know, um, the CEO of Salesforce, he said, "What are you talking? We have been doing predictive AI from so many years." Their solution called Einstein was already, working, doing prediction using artificial intelligence. But the question is, today the model was different, and the scale of marketing was different, the communication and stage was different, the size was different. So it has become a big boom. So from there, agentic AI came in, then multimodal AI came in. Now when you question about implementation of AI with a small organization, how they can invest on a multi-billion solution. So as you know it is important when we are planning to bring AI in our ecosystem. We have all kind of model available, right? Open AI and paid AI tools as well. So when we are going for solution, as we need to be clear what problem statement we want to solve. Then is that problem statement cost and the running cost of that application, this is going to make a sense. If that makes a sense, then we should go about it. I'm giving a very simple example. If you're implementing a CRM tool, I was talking to one of the industry. They were using a simple CRM application. I said, okay, why don't you take this application? This is very good solution and this and that. So he said, oh, it's come in dollar and it is very costly. I said, do you know $1 spent on a CRM license can give you return up to $9? He said, how come? So it only depends upon the how you implemented the solution. So if you don't know how to implement it, please don't put your money over there. It will burn. You will not get any ROI. You are going to waste your money.
It's that kind of pointer that we discussed earlier. Is the tool has to be known to the person, trained. I think that is the objective that you should look at putting the budgets there. There is one is the awareness, then the training, and the third is how they can use it. That's what I think what you are saying now. How should the boards balance AI experimentation with risk and governance part? Is there something that we can give pointers there, Sandeep?
So, as your last question, if I remember, you asked, right, whether it is a strategy or a tool. So, I
Hmm.
feel if board plan AI movement as a strategic move rather than putting a shiny tool on the table, I think they can put everything in place because, say, for example, 6 years back when you were planning for digital transformation, a digital transformation was where you are bringing mm, not a small change. Actually, you are doing a turnkey project where you want to involve each and application, every user, and you are ensuring those data flow into the ecosystem very nicely, right? So when you are planning for a solution like AI, right? So there you are going to bring a major change. To be very honest, it is not a small change because when you're bringing AI in your ecosystem, you have to train the AI not once. Time to time, you have to keep training the AI so that you can get the right answer. Otherwise, it will also, like an old record, it will play the same tune, right? So when board is planning for any strategic move on AI, so there is very very important aspect is uh, they have to be very clear, defined timeline, the team, those are going to evaluate the solution, those are going to decide what the AI to be. And if I'm not wrong, now chief AI officer is a new role which is also coming in because there's a dedicated person to ensure the tool is working perfectly, the information is going rightly, people are being trained effectively.
Okay. I think that's a role that will change things into bringing prospective into a mainstream, right? And people would look at questionable pointers where AI can be looked at with that expertise coming in. What does AI driven value creation look like for enterprises to scale?
So, enterprise to scale, the value driven is, I feel there are two values, those are very, very important. One is people, another is process. When I say people, it is your employee as well as our customer. So, if AI is helping these people and reducing, improvising the processes and making their life easy, right? So that can be a great value addition for any organization.
Now, coming to our one pointer, what we spoke about data, right? Why must every AI adoption journey begin with data governance? Because we spoke somewhere clean data, right?
So data is new oil, new gold.
Yeah,
So everything starts from data because if I say your car will not work until unless you are not going to put petrol into it. So similarly, for AI, data is, it's nutrition. If there is no data, AI cannot work. AI will learn from your data to give you the right answer. So as I will say, you buy one machine, okay, and you have you are not even loading a OS. You will not find anything. It will not run,
yeah.
right? So you have to give in application. That application, then you have to give the data. Similarly, if you are bringing AI tool, in that AI tool, you have to ensure what kind of data to be trained, what kind of model to be trained. I was given you an example of legal department. Now I am giving an example of procurement department. If I am feeding a data of procurement department to my AI tool, I can get the information of what kind of purchases I made in last couple of months. If I want to check of specific product, when it was purchased, what was the price of it. If I am repeating any purchase, I can check the comparison of last 2 years, 3 years of purchases, what has happened, just with a single prompt. Otherwise, I may have to run a query in my ERP, or I have to generate a report, then I have to start working on it. Here I can just ask, not same way, like I ask, hey Siri, tell me the cost. So that is one of the form of AI as well, right? But I am trying to say I can just write a prompt and it can give me the answer.
True, right? Now, how can leaders shift from AI hype to sustainable advantage? That's one thing that I want to understand from you, Sandeep.
I will say stop chasing vanity POCs, build scalable, compatible, aligned to the strategy. Because what happens now, if I'm going and buying one application or product, right, which may not be aligned to my vision, organization, thought process,
Yeah.
I'm going to fall back. So if the solution today, thing has changed, right? If you see, there are four ways of application. One is you take one product and implement in your organization. Second, you may have multiple very branded tools and you combine them and create a platform. Third is you take an open source platform and develop your own application. Fourth, you take some low code, no code tool and build your own building blocks and create a application. So it depends upon you. Everything has a problem. There's none of them is saying a problem free solution, right? Every solution has its own problem, but you have to understand your organization values, vision, and strategy. Based on that, you have to design your next strategy. Then only I think you can create a sustainable solution rather than running behind the POCs. So I think value, not vanity, is the true AI accuracy currency.
Coming to our last question for the day, what's the legacy leader will leave if AI success is measured right?
I think it is about the impact beyond quarters,
Okay.
societal values, shareholder confidence, long term resilience. The legacy leaders, the measurement was resilience, right? If you see, they work on certain values. Their working is based on how the confidence they have built up with their network, what kind of relationship they have worked on it. So AI legacy is not hype; it's the ROI you leave behind.
Thank you for that, Sandeep. So, with this, I have come to the pointers that I have wanted to ask you for the session today. I'll just summarize and see how we have taken this 1 hour of our our podcast today. We started with what is the investing smoke or substance is what we started with, whether we are driving value or it is just a hype that we are creating. That's where we started. Then we spoke about outpaced reality in quarterly board reviews, what we spoke about. Then we spoke about live boardrooms where uh, then factory, where is the fear, where is the AI fear coming in, whether it's in the boardrooms or in the factory floors. That's what we spoke about. How do blind faith on AI can bring down organizations, which is kind of downfall for corporate downfalls if AI can do something and we can face those pointers. Then we spoke about projects still on a flashy proof of concept stuff. That is one point that we spoke about. Then we spoke of literacy on boards in the can be a bottleneck. I think that's what we spoke about. 60% of the boards lack AI skill, and CIO's mentoring efforts also play a key role, is what we spoke. And that is a point of where AI literacy equals leadership blind spot. That's the point that we came out. And then we spoke about how ROI can be measured when you have tools like ERP and CRM measured easily. How the ROI of AI can be measured. That's one point that we spoke about. We spoke about AI lapses becoming brand crisis and cyber risks. Then few firms adopting as a strategic roadmaps where we see AI coming as a part. The first question each AI adoption or a board should be asking today is the next point that we spoke about. And also you spoke about some of the pointers where mid-sized firms can adopt AI where they don't need big budgets. and some of the tools that can be looked at, and how we can look at governance when we are looking at AI experimentation with risk and governance pointer is what we spoke. And then finally we got into a point how the leadership legacy is going to be placing when AI is being measured in the right way. Legacy leadership, where we spoke about impact, societal, long-term pointers. Legacy is built on AI and not on hype, is what we are trying to conclude as a pointer while we conclude the session. Sandeep, any last-minute pointers before we conclude for the audience, Sandeep?
I would like to say treat AI as one of your assistant, and it is going to stay. Only thing is we have to use it rightly. I still remember when I started using computer or laptop, people used to say it is going to die in 2000. It stayed. Y2K came, people said no, computer is going to end. When computer came, people thought it is going to take away all the work, and everything will be operated by computer. No, business increased, transaction increased, right? And we are able to see how fast economic, not only Indian, world economy is growing. So the way of working has changed, the life has changed, right? So AI also going to bring some change in our the way we have been working in our life, in our processes. Only thing is we have to use it ethically, responsibly, and we have to ensure that we train everyone those are using AI so that it should not be curse, it should benefit to the society.
Thank you for that, Sandeep. I think with that, what we see is AI is going to be here. It's not a hype, and it is going to change things. The way you think are not going to change, right? So that's the point that we want to look at. With this, we have streamed to the audience. We are saying this podcast has been streamed to LinkedIn, YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter, and Instagram as well. So hope this you found this discussion valuable, and thank you for joining us. Our next episode is happening tomorrow, which is scrolling down, where we are talking about attention is your advantage. Can mindset cut cycle time, is what we are talking about tomorrow. And that's the topic that we will see you at 6:30 p.m. IST tomorrow. Thank you, Sandeep. Thank you for joining us today. It's been
Thank
great having you today on the podcast, and
you.
thank you for being here.
My pleasure.